Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, how are you?
We're
Hope you're
good.
doing well today.
Yes,
Great.
sir.
So, by the way, we will have a new lesson for today. Before we start, may I request everyone to please stand up. And Miss Angie, can you lead us in prayer?
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, before we sit down, kindly please check the arrangement of chairs and pick up those pieces of papers on the floor. And who is absent for today?
None, sir.
Alright, so that's great because no one is absent today. Please give a round of applause to everyone. Okay, so who can give me a short recap of what you have discussed yesterday? Miss Angie? That's right. So yesterday we discussed about characteristic of stars. We learned that stars may vary from sizes, shape, mass, weight, and also their distance and brightness. But they do have the same composition, right? And for today we will have a new topic. And our objective for today is, at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to describe what is constellation, identify the different types of constellation, discuss why stars are not seen during daytime and its apparent motion during night, and 4, determine how early people use constellations. Alright, so Miss Edge, what can you see in this picture? Can you please describe what can you see in this picture?
Stars.
Alright, so these pictures contains stars in the night sky. Have you experienced stargazing?
Yes, sir.
Alright, that is one very fun activity that we did when we are young, right? And for today, we will have a group activity. I will divide you into 3 groups, and each group will have these different photos, and you will try to identify them, give their characteristics, and also you will define what is circumpolar constellations. I will give you 15 minutes to finish the activity. Then once done, you will choose one representative from your group and you will present it in front of the class. Any question?
None, sir.
Okay. So, are we already done with our activity?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so who will be the first group to present in the class? Group 1? Alright, thank you so much, Group 1. What about Group 2? Alright, thank you so much, Group 2. Group 3? Okay, thank you very much, Group 3. Alright, all your activities are all correct. So we can say that circumpolar constellations are constellations that are not setting below the horizon. Alright, so based on our activity, what can you say about constellations? Miss Angie, what is constellation? Okay, so constellations are the different formation that we see at night, right? So you can see a different inanimate object like shape of a bear, shape of a dragon, shape of a human, right? But technically, constellation is defined as it is an area on the celestial sphere in which a group of visible stars forms a pattern, outline, or typically representing an animal, mythological person, or creatures, or an inanimate object. So these are those formation that we see in the night sky. Say a while ago that constellation is an area in celestial sphere which is a group of visible stars forms a pattern or outline or typically representing an animal, mythological person or creature, or an inanimate object. While circumpolar constellations are constellations that never sets below the horizons as viewed from the locations on Earth. Now, may I ask you, what are those circumpolar constellations in Northern Hemisphere and in Southern Hemisphere? Miss Ange? Alright, that's correct. Those circumpolar constellation can be seen from Northern Hemisphere are the Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Cepheus, and Cassiopeia. While in Southern Hemisphere, we have the Crux, the Centaurus, and Carina. That is the circumpolar constellations that can be found in Southern Hemisphere. Now, who can define those circumpolar constellations that can be found in Northern and Southern Hemisphere? Anyone from the group? Okay, so Ursa Major, who can define Ursa Major? Alright, so Ursa Major means the Great Bear, the largest northern constellation and third largest constellation in the sky. Also known as the Cloud, visible during the month of April. What does it look like? So, this is what it looks like. The Great Bear or the Cloud. Alright, so this is an image of Ursa Major. What about Ursa Minor? Who can define Ursa Minor? Miss MJ? Miss MJ? Alright, that's correct. So, Ursa Minor is also known as the Little Bear. The 56th largest constellation in the sky, and it is the brightest star in the northern pole star or the Polaris. Best visible during the month of June. What does it look like? This is how it looks like. Ursa Minor, or the small bear. Oops. Okay, so the next one is, and the third one is Cassiopeia. Who can define what is Cassiopeia? Miss MJ? Alright, that's correct. Cassiopeia is named after the vain queen Cassiopeia in the Greek mythology, who boasted about her unrivaled beauty, best visible in month of November. This is what it looks like in the night sky. So I have a photo here. Alright, so this is Cassiopeia. So the image looks like W, right? So that is the Cassiopeia. The fourth one is Cepheus. So who can define Cepheus? Miss Angie? Miss Ash? Alright, so Cepheus, named after Cepheus, a king of Utopia in Greek mythology. He is the husband of the vain queen Cassiopeia, visible during month of November. So these two constellations are both visible during the month of November. So, here's what it looks like. This one. Okay. So this is Zipx. Alright. So okay, so are we already done with copying with all of these materials? I'm going to remove them now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move it. So we're already done with the Northern Hemisphere constellations. We're now going to proceed in Southern Hemisphere constellation. Now, we only have 3 Southern Hemisphere constellations. We are the Crux, the Carina, and the Centaurus. Alright, so who can first define what is Crux? Miss MJ? Alright, that's correct. So Crux is also known as the Southern Cross. Why? Because it looks like a cross. And it is a constellation centered on 4 stars in the sky in a bright portion of Milky Way, exactly opposite of the constellation Cassiopeia, best visible during month of May. And this is what it looks like. Okay. So this is what it looks like, Southern Cross. It looks like a really cross. And the second one is the Carina. Who can define what is Carina? Is Angie? Alright, so Carina, it is named in Latin, holler keel of a ship. It was the southern foundation of the largest constellation of Agronavis until it was divided into 3 pieces, the other 2 being Popis and Vela, best visible during month of March. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like, Carina. Alright, so the third constellation in Southern Hemisphere is the Centaurus. So this is the Centaurus, or the half-man in horse creature from Greek mythology. It contains Alpha and Beta Centauri, the third and 10th brightest star in the sky, best visible during the month of May. This is what it looks like. Alright, so it looks like a horse, half man and half horse. Alright, so those circumpolar constellations are only visible on that area due to locations. Now, my question is, are all of the constellations always visible from anywhere in the Earth? Yes or no? No. Why? That's right. Because constellation, or if you use constellation, it will vary from where are you located. Like for example, you're located in southern part, you will see different constellation. Alright, then what do you think there are some area in the Earth that can see, that can only see specific constellations? Miss LJ? Alright, that's correct. The Earth is round and it rotates in a tilted axis. And those facing the sun have a lesser view of those constellations compared to those facing or at the back part of the Earth, facing backward to the sun. Alright, so they have different views of constellations. Then, what about those constellations located near the equator? What can you say about that? Can they see or can they have a good view of northern and southern hemispheres constellations? Miss Angie? Yes. Why? Because those areas located in the equators are in the middle of Earth. So it means they have a good view of the northern and the southern hemisphere. Alright? So, what can you say about our location here in the Philippines? Can we see or can we have a good view of the northern or the constellation from the southern hemisphere? Miss Angie? So that's correct. So, geographically speaking, Philippines is located near in equator. So it means we have a good view of those constellations depending on the time or the day that we are looking or viewing certain constellations. So as the Earth rotates around its axis, which places facing the sun has the lesser view of constellation, and those in the back part have a better view of those constellations. Now, what are the other factors that affects why they cannot see specific constellation, Miss MJ? All right, Earth revolutions around the sun. As the Earth revolves around the sun, so as the season change, and so the constellation changes also. It means that where the Earth located in the sun is what constellation will display at night. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the location of the Earth around the sun will always tell what constellation are on display in the night sky. Alright, so to generalize our discussion today, we can say that constellations are those recognizable patterns displayed in the night sky. Those are the observable pictures or images that we can see as we look at the night sky. And we say also that stars have different characteristics. They have different masses, sizes, brightness, distance, and also weight or mass. Alright, but they have the same position. Okay, so we have circumpolar constellation. Circumpolar constellation are constellations that never sets below the horizon. Those circumpolar constellations are can be seen from northern and southern hemisphere. Example are, in northern hemisphere we have the Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Cassiopeia, Cepheus, and what else? Yeah, that's it. In the southern hemisphere we have the Crux, the Centaurus, and Carina. All right. So there are some factors that affects what constellation we can see at night. Like for example, the rotation of the Earth on its axis, and then the revolution of the Earth around the sun. As the Earth revolves around the sun, the season changes, so as the constellations are on display at night changes also. All right. So, do we have any questions?
None, sir.
Okay, so to see if we get our lesson today or if we understand our lesson today, I will give you a short quiz. Please get 1/4 sheet of paper and try to answer or identify the photos that I will display on the board. Okay? Are we ready?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay, so number 1. Okay, so what is that? That is to answer 1 and 2. Number 3, this one. So what is that? Number 4, are we already done?
Yes, sir.
Number 4. And number 5. Okay. Already done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so number 1. What is 1 and 2? What is the answer? Okay, this is Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. The second one is Ursa Minor. This one is Draco. The fifth one is Karina. Did you get all that correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so I think everyone have a perfect score today. Alright, so for your assignment, please write this in one whole sheet of paper. So, number 1, how do early people use constellation? Then, number 2, give examples on how early people use constellations. So, you can give 10 examples and an essay form of explanation for number 1. Any question?
None, sir.
Alright, so since we're already done for today, I think we'll just see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, class, and have a great day.
Bye, sir.
Bye, thank you.